Hello, beautiful creatures. So, I wanted to get on and talk about the Sun opposing Saturn, Pluto, and Jupiter this week. So, the end of this week, we have the Sun, like I said, opposing those three planets in Capricorn, Jupiter, Pluto, and Saturn, which have all been making these wild little clusterfucks in Capricorn for, this entire year. So essentially, with the Sun opposing this, let me show you guys. So we have the Sun right across in Cancer here, opposing those three planets in Capricorn. And the Sun is in Cancer up here. So essentially, this is the Sun shining that giant beacon. What does the Sun do? It illuminates. And it is brightly illuminating all of the things that are going down in Capricorn right now. So all of the restrictions, all of the, COVID situations, the BLM movement, this whole structure reorganizing and foundation building and rebuilding and taking apart is all being highlighted within the next couple of days. So once the Sun moves into Leo on the 22nd, that's when things start to lift up a little bit. We're going to be looking at a really tense couple of days from the 14th, right now when I'm filming this, all the way until the 22nd. We're just going to be seeing that intensity really highlighted. However, since the Sun is in Cancer, I do think that there is, the highlight and the spotlight that's being given is an empathetic one and one with understanding because of the Sun's energy in Cancer. There's just a lot more, it's just a lot more gentle and a lot, it's almost like the collective can approach things with a little bit more empathy right now and a little bit more of an emotional maturity compared to where we have been this whole year. So as we move forward into Leo season, things really do start to relax. Things will not ever look, I just really want to stress this, there is no such thing as normal. Everything you have ever believed the world to be is gone. Say that again to yourself. Everything that I believed the world to be is gone. The world is a different place now. We have entered a new reality, and it's time to start understanding what this new reality's normal looks like. Because the normal that we were used to is gone, dead, finito. So, it's really important for us as a collective to move forward and to really gain a grasping on what the new world looks like. What is our new normal? What could that possibly be? So let's just pull a couple cards. And I'm still using the Fairy Tarot. I'm still really obsessed with it. And I also finally received my Black and Gold edition, so it's my first Rider-Waite deck. To be completely honest, I've never really cared for the illustrations in the Rider-Waite deck. Don't tell anyone else I said that, but yeah, I've just never really cared for the illustrations. So, but these gold ones are pretty baller. So it was the first Rider-Waite deck that I've ever purchased. So let's see what Spirit has to say about this, the collective moving forward, and the Sun opposing planets in Capricorn. Thank you, Spirit. Guidance. Thank you, Michael. The messages are just flying out. Let me just organize them here a little bit. Bam. that strength card right as we enter into Leo season. Wonderful. Right away, we start the reading off with strength. And this is, really a card about, in this deck in particular, a card about pulling together your energy in a time where, you've really been down. This fairy has her wings all shredded up, but look at her go, man. It's almost like that kind of energy where, like, when your adrenaline kicks in, when you're in a major incident, like people who like are in car accidents and just like lift cars because their adrenaline is just so insane. Because the reality is humans are really fucking magical. We're really powerful. And sometimes we can only tap into that power when we have been kicked and pushed to a certain limitation. We have the King of Hearts as our energy right now. This is that Cancer energy just like really stepping in and telling us that it is time for us to be gentle with each other, to be empathetic and understanding, but still commanding, right? Cancer is that cardinal energy. So Cancer really knows how to empathize, but still say no. I understand Cancer, the sun in Cancer says, I understand where your limitations are and where my limitations are. So how can we best work together so that neither of us have to cross boundaries? So we're finding that energy within the collective. How can we all best work together without crossing these new boundaries and without upsetting the new balance that is being established? Okay. We are still, I've been seeing a lot of tarot readers lately, like, bounce around COVID-19 and talking about it. Like, they say things, it's like they're saying all the things, like, oh, you might be battling a flu or getting sick or whatever. There's restrictions, there's boundaries. Like, it's because we're in a global pandemic. And the Ten of Swords is a direct representation of that for me, especially here. Something that affects us, the many of us, and it creates sickness. Let me read the Ten of Swords. I open right up to it. Love it when that happens. Even magical creatures may be taken ill. This card, in fact, is the symbol of the general impossibility of action and more specifically illness. It's like there are so many things that are coming out of COVID, and just this void that we've been in of sickness. And, if I started to talk about it, it would take up an hour to 2 hours, I feel like, of me just rambling, talking about the astrology and COVID-19 and the energies about it, and what it is doing. So, perhaps maybe I'll make a video separately on that topic. But it's not leaving anytime soon. I'm telling you all, we don't have until spring 2021 until we start to leave this void of sickness. So it's time to start thinking more on the collective scale. How can I best help my community right now? Because our community is suffering and our community is sick. So how can we move forward best respecting everybody's boundaries while still living within our true power, while still being strong, and while still leading with empathy? How do we do that? How do we lead with empathy now in this new world? Because we're really being asked to have a lot of empathy for other people right now. It is not time for you to think selfishly. So it's really being called upon us to put ourselves aside and do what is best for the collective. We're moving into the age of Aquarius. This is an age, and the new world is going to be very Aquarian. Very Aquarian. So if you have this like intense individualism right now and you don't want to do certain things, or you're, acting out and treating others poorly because you're angry about the effects that the pandemic is having on you personally, I mean, of course you're mad, and of course we're all mad, and we're all frustrated, but it's time for us to stop being selfish, and it's time for us to start working with the collective and finding what is the best way for us to move forward and to heal from all of this. Because obviously the individualism and the selfishness is not working. And that is a part of the old world, right? Self-success and self-motivation and self-growth is a very Capricorn idea. And that's the energy that we're moving away from, that we've been moving away from for the past, 200 years. Something to think about. It's been a long time that we've been stuck in this Capricornian energy. Moving on with the cards. We have the Four of Acorns. And this is, and then we have, so this is the Four of Wands in the traditional tarot. And then we have the Six of Bells, so the Six of Pentacles. And then the Knight of Sleeves, so the Knight of Swords. This is awesome freaking energy. And that's the undercurrent of all of this. There's all this, sickness happening on the top level, right? We're really being asked to, these are the top 3 cards. We're really being asked to have strong empathy, strong willpower, to really press on and continue through this sickness and through this uncertainty and through this toxic energy. We're really being asked to push through that on the surface. And then underneath it all are all these amazing things coming in. Because, we're cultivating a new. And we're cultivating this new world. And even though things look really bad on the collective, there is this underwave of serious blessings and serious positive energy coming through, and we're seeing that trickle up to the surface, but I think it's going to really remain an undercurrent until next year. So it just, to help keep you feeling like things aren't all doom and gloom and things aren't hopeless, it's really important to understand all of the good things that are coming in for you individually, because that's what we're seeing really start to happen. And that's the other side of Aquarius. Aquarius is this dichotomy of the individual amongst the many. And we also have the North Node in Gemini. Focusing on yourself is how we heal the collective. I say it in every video, and I'll keep saying it all the way through the age of Aquarius, I'm sure. But focusing on your self-growth and your self-healing and your self-worth is really how we're going to then, reflect it onto the masses. It really is just like a working of what's inside. Pull a couple more cards. Thank you, Spirit. Clarifiers. Cards, connections, clarifiers. Whoa. Okay. 10 of Swords again. 6 of Swords. The Devil. Oh, too many. Okay. And so we still have all this crazy, okay, that one, literally won't even let me pick it up, so I'm gonna put that there. We just still have all this Mars energy. Mars is going to be the forefront of the energy from here on out. So just expect a lot of Mars conversations and Aries conversations. Mars will be in Aries for quite some time. So, we just have to really get used to this fire energy, and fire being pretty much the forefront, because the new world is a fire and air heavy energy, whereas the world that we're moving out of was very earth, water heavy. So it was very Capricorn, Scorpio based. So as we move forward, we're moving into totally different energy. So, that's just going to create a lot of upheaval and a lot of chaos. But look, so now we have the Ten of Swords shifting into the background and shifting into the past. The Ten of Swords. And then the Six of Swords. And this is a moving forward. And all those swords are still in front of us, but we're moving forward with them now. The Six of Swords is a really beautiful energy that can be about transitioning into a new realm and transitioning into a new world. I've often seen this card come up. This card can get really heavy and go into it. This can be an indicator of shifting into any realm. So when we see it with a lot of Ten of Swords energy, this could definitely be energy of masses shifting into the next world. So that's definitely something to think about. But this could also be an indicator of moving away from this energy, moving away, and that's how I'm feeling, because this came out before it. So we're really starting to move away from that Ten of Swords energy, which was the sickness one that we were talking about earlier. So then we have the Devil and the Ten of Wands. Whew. Now is not a time. So, okay, we have to start thinking internally than externally. So now is not the time to think, okay, so it's time for me to focus on me, so that means that I have to do everything, and I have to take on everything. That is not it. Do not take on more than you can hold. Don't take on more than you can hold. Please. By learning to take care of yourself is really, when you're truly doing it, you really learn how to then project that and take care of others. And it's really becomes more possible to share the load, right? It becomes more possible to understand your own personal limitations, because you realize where they are and what your boundaries are. So try to not fall into this energy of taking on far much more than you can handle. Try to not fall into that energy, because there's definitely a lot of things coming in. So it's, as we move into this new world, we're going to be starting to pick up more. We're going to be starting to pick up more, because as many people return to work and many people don't, there's going to be, I feel like the people that are working are really going to feel and have been feeling very, like the whole world is relying on them. And that's exhausting. So, we have to start thinking communally in a way that, how can I best take care of myself so that I can show up for my community every single day? And I can show up for my community and make this a better place for not only me, but for everyone else at the same time. When you really start taking care of yourself, that communal part comes really naturally. Really naturally. So, yeah. Whew. We can do this, guys. Like I said, Leo season is going to look a lot better. I'm definitely going to be doing a reading for Leo season, so like take a good look at that and get some good insights of how to best utilize this little window of opportunity we're going to be getting, because after Leo season it goes back to being pretty restrictive and pretty the energy just goes back to being a little like it's been. So we will get like a month of a break, a little bit of a breather. So I really want to make sure that I can get the messages out of how best to utilize that energy so that we can rest and restore for the rest of the year. I also I changed a couple of things. I did have a price increase due to demand, which is awesome, and I really appreciate all of you for being here and listening to me ramble about the universe. You know, I never really expected anything out of this, just kind of like a way for me to heal myself. My human design, I am a self-projected projector, so, you know, just kind of getting on here and rambling is actually really healing for me and really beneficial for me. So I really never expected anybody to be listening or, you know, like following the way that you guys are, and I just really appreciate that. My little creatures, you guys are all the best. I really appreciate you guys. So that was that update. I also am hoping to be putting out more content Mondays and Tuesdays. We'll see how things go as California shifts, and the COVID numbers are pretty bad here. So and I have another job, so I am working, you know, right now. But I might not be, so I might be putting out more content, but expect most of the content to be happening Mondays and Tuesdays. Yeah, and I'm going to try to make time on Mondays for a live tarot reading for all of us to kind of talk and see each other, and I will be pulling cards for free during those. So please, you know, like when I do a live, remember that if you can't afford a reading, I will be doing lives and I will pull cards for free for you. It's just like a cute communal place for all of us to be able to get together, and that's like exactly what we want right now, is to cultivate communities that we can, you know, express ourselves in and be ourselves in. So I just want to create a safe place for any spiritual people that want to connect. And I want to keep it as affordable, but also as equal of an exchange as I can. So I really appreciate you guys. I hope you all enjoy your day, and I hope that this Mars energy and the sun in Cancer can just really help heal you and nurture you, and help motivate you to do healing and take care of others. I love you all very much. Have a wonderful week.